something you probably can get. But that we can see, we men, and imagination, the stone's weight and the stone's size, that what could probably be inside there, that can be attractive if you are attracting for that inside, not one sexual relation. Now a woman also must have something inside. They can also have 1001 pearl inside. Anyway, before when such a thing was existing. So how could they know how much there is inside? Because they could not have a look at the säckpåsekasse and what could there be. So how could your eye can look and imagination and think what could be inside in that thing, if it's the thing to drink from it. But for another woman who thinks from another woman, how can she know what could be inside this other woman in her life's collective of pearls? We must be equal. Maybe it's something. We have one ball and we have one lance. Every man has one lance, especially if he makes children, he had to have lance form. That means smaller head than the collar. Otherwise he has one klubba. And klubba is divided again in slegga and moska. So we have different name of our form of the prick. No, lance is the lance and ball is ball, and we have balance våg. Balance våg means that you can find out how heavy they are. It's balance våg. So the heaviness must have been showing how much you have inside. If there was existing one balance våg, who could measure it? We call it in millimeter, milliliter, and milligram. They are all milliliter, millimeter, and milligram. Now the säck is always the storleken. We talk about the sex storlek, means the size sex storlek. And the shaft is grovlek, and the head is tjocklek. And the hjärtklappar is tjocklek, and the sarg is tjocklek. So the head of the helmet we are taking in tjocklek, the shaft of the prick we take in grovlek, and the säck we take in storlek. Storlek, grovlek, tjocklek, and djuplek means the deepness. All end with lek. Stor lek, grov lek, tjock lek, djup lek. And they are all going in milliliter, the sperm, in milligram, how heavy, and millimeter, the deepness. Now milli was taken away. In England they had no milli, they had foot and they had thumbs and this kind of measurement in many years. So I think it was the Catholic period where they took this milli away, because we get it later on. They find out that this stem system of milli, milligram, milliliter, millimeter, came back so we could measure it in one new, maybe old way. Because in milliliter, meal eater, I eat the meal, you eat the meal, we eat the meal. Meal eater. The meal eater. The meal eater. And the meal eater is divided with cavalry, infanteri, cavalry, kavaleri, ka, asenaskarar, val, E and ri. Ka, val, e, ri. The cavalry. Infant is the child. Infant e, ri. So the infantry was making children in the meal eater. Cavalry, infantry, and art. I. Le is the smile. I le, you le, we le. Art, I, le, ri. Artillery. In meal eater we have art. And art in the school of art is the naked body who first has to be drawn. Art, I, le, ri. Ka, val, e, ri. Infant, e, ri. When you put this militaire back in the sound system, you can see that the infanterist was the lancier who made the child. And the cavalry was the dragoon. The dragoon, yggdra, sil, dra I hand. Dra is the action. Dra I hand. When you take out, you draw I hand. Dragoon. Dragoon. North Star. Dragoon. So these old military titles, when you put them in the sound system, you find out that they had the opposite. Because today the military is killing, but before the military had other things to do. Here I thank for me, I ended with the military, so we can see in the sound system in root that many things in the history has been having one other root. Thank you.
Are there other qualities of sound as male and female?
Now I had this problem with this. Take one time more the question.
Yeah. Are there other qualities in sound as male and female?
Other qualities,
Ja, quality.
Qualität.
Ja. Eigenschaften.
Now I don't take one more your question. I like to have it, but I couldn't get it really. Other quality,
As male and female. Man and woman.
men, woman, kvinnor, män. Oh, we are two, so we need to be two, otherwise creators would have been creating only one. And this difference between us men and women is not so big in the sound, because it's only two parts, as I tried this balcony and this, otherwise we have exactly the same. 100%. All inside is the same, except women give out milk.
May I translate the question?
Take one more.
Han spørger, om det findes andre egenskaber end mandlig og kvindelig ved lyder.
Wow. Ja, manliga egenskaper, kvinnliga egenskaper.
Om det findes flere typer egenskaper end mandlig og kvindelig ved lydene.
Vi måste ändå ge det med något där.
Så det finns är kvinnlig,
Ja.
är maskulin. Finns det andra lyder för andra?
Utan det kvinnliga A med två prickar på är alltså kvinnligt. Och det blir ä-ljudet. Och ä-ljudet finns i ra, som är alltså r. Så r-ljudet är maskulint. Och ä är alldeles klart i A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, D, U, V. So it's completely clear R. So you put it as female R and R to the masculine. So it's exactly, Ra is exactly same. The queen is representing Ra and the king is representing Ra. And the offer for Ra in off Ra.
There's only male and female sounds. Or also
Yeah, only male and female.
This was
You got one? Oh,
Take it,
I didn't hear that.
take it.
Hmm?
You wanted to ask something?
I didn't hear the answer about male and female.
Maskulin, kulli, maskulin, feminin, maskulin. Vi call it kvinna, man in rot. Kvinna, man in rot. In Sweden they call it kvinna, man. In Norway they say kvinne and man. But on the islands outside of Norway they call it woman. They call it woman there in English. So man kvinna in rot, man kvinna in Sweden, kvinne, man in Norway. So now when these people moved over to these islands outside of Norway, they've been adopting such a sound like woman. When kvinna, queen, kvinna, kvinnor, I think is the original sound for the woman who become the queen, kvinna, kvinnor. What do you say in German?
Holland.
You're Holland. What do you say for woman in your language?
No, the answer. The question. It's you.
Frau.
What?
Frau.
You say Frau, that means fru. That's one title.
Oh, you didn't say that?
Like you're fröken. Frö is the frö. Frö, you remember fröken. That's one title of woman. Oh, we take this. We have kammare. Kammare. You have also kammare, one room.
Kamera.
Then you have kammarfru, kammarjungfru, kammartjänarina. Or they have kammarherre, kammarjunkare and kammartjänare. These are old. So kammarfru and jungfru take frukost. And kost means this inside of the woman when you take from one straw, that means kost.
That was the straw.
Frukost in the morning. It kammarfru. Inte tjänarinna who make it to tjäna for rinna. And rinna means when it come out with the straw. Now the man has kammarherre, kammarjunkare. So junkare is junkare and kammartjänsteman. Tjänste, ste is the stone. Tjänsteman. It has to do with the down part. So the tjänarinna and tjänsteman. Tjänare, tjänarinna must be said. Tjänare, masculine, tjänarinna, female. And kammarjunkare, kammarjungfru, jungfru. Or kammarfru, taking frukost. This cost is one word. Today how much cost something, but if before it was the sound of the woman was cost. Kostea, fuktig, fukt. Like sippra, droppa, rinna, flöda. Sippra first, after come drop a, rin a, flöda. And it comes from womanism. Comes like that. Sippra, drop a, rin a, flöd a, and flöda kom till flöd. That's fint. Wow. Nice. You could smile on right place. was last year here, and the year before. Oh, I see you many times. And this gentleman there behind, you've been all 3 times also. Yeah. I remember when we had one anatomic analysis in the sauna. That was a nice.
It's a man.
And you was in the Scandinavian trip, you was really into what you said. Nice brain, you could take it. Oh. Yeah. You still roll this thing?
It's finished.
What to do?
This is the session with Ior Bock on the 4th of August 1998 in the ping pong room with the tropical people, the Latinos.
That's good that you are sitting like this so you can like lie down and start listening. How much time we have? There's something really to do in just after now, some limit time.
I guess when the work is finished, then we also need to slowly finish.
So you
I would say Rob would give you a
when
sign.
it's okay. You know, the first group I had, we were sitting on the floor, and there over half of them fall to sleep. And the second one was the Scandinavian, and there they also could like. But later on they said that they had anyway been listening to every word, but they could go down and relax at the same time listening. The third one was in this toy room, I think, for the Dutch. And there they sit in chairs, so there they could not really relax in the same way. And yesterday it was for the Middle Europe people, for Germany people, and they also sit in chairs. And they was not falling down because they were sitting in metal chairs. Maybe that make them to be. There was nearly everybody like up. But it's nice now when I make this story that you can relax and you don't have to stare to me. And maybe I don't make any questions. Maybe if I make, of course, I have to look at person. And today is the Italian. Who are you are born in Italy? Yeah, you are Italian guy, and you also Italian guy.
I'm Brazilian.
Huh?
Brazilian. Brazilian.
You are Brazilian, but your back is from Italy.
In Italy and Portugal.
And you born in Italy? You born there, so you feel you are really one Italian. Mama, Papa, both Italian. Also Mama's parents, Italian. And Papa's parents, Italian. So you are 100% Italian. Wow. I don't know, I was thinking to take something called tropical and arctical. That we have two. And now we from our arctical side, like Finland, we always see that we have been surrounded by something called tropical. But anyway, we are sane. We all people are sane. All over the planet. I think we only have different norms who make us to behave different when we go to Africa or we go to India or we go to China or we see the red Indian in America. I think it's norms who make us to live different. And maybe the climate is making the norm. For example, in my country we have 4 months of ice every year. So when I was a small child, every morning I look out and everything is white. And you know that in the night time it has been coming snow, so I have to make this road to the toilet and knock on my mother's and sister's door that they could now go there. That's my life. So the Arctical we have a little bit different than the tropical. But anyway, we must all have been tropical from before. The Arctical people have been created like later on. And to go to one story about Lemminkäinen, it was a mythologic figure. I think I've been coming here to tell about mythologic figures. Yesterday was some kind of other thing, so maybe I go back to Lemminkäinen. Who is Lemminkäinen? It started the whole history of this ball that we was one egg who was floating around in the universum. The yellow of the egg and the white of the egg is the water, the fruit. This egg explodes, it was like one sun, and out from the water come the bedrock. And bedrock has been here, and it's our planet. From this bedrock we have also water, and the water go up because sunshine, and it go up and become cloud, and it come down with rain, sometimes with thunder, who make the fire on the planet. So from the thunder we get the fire. And now human beings are the only who use fire. Nowhere else they use fire than we. That we are agreed. But for us to use the fire, we had to be. And as we say that we start with one algae, and from this algae come one awl, one eel, who could be in the water and on the land. From the eel come the eel, and from the eel become one frog, who also can be on the water and the land. From the frog come the frog, and from the frog come one apa. And this apa, he had embla in his balls, and he fucked one nanny goat. And out come from the embla into the egg of the nanny goat, and the energy in the egg make this embla to grow. And it come out Freya, Sampo Island, the first people on the planet, one sister and one brother. When Sampo, the first man in our mythology, and his sister Ainu, when Sampo gets 7 years, he gets sperma in his ball. And he made the incest in the beginning, he fucked his sister. The sister gets 7 daughters and 12 boys. Like that they started. The first of the 7 boys, who became 27, represented the moon. And the first daughter, who became 27, represented the moon. When the 12th boy, when he became 27, represented the sun. As that, he became Lemminkäinen. This Lemminkäinen, when he became 27, he is taking from the woman one existed, the most beautiful and healthy. So the most beauty and healthy become the mother of Lemminkäinen's children. And this most beauty and healthy, they call her S-Van, S-Van, Joutsen. So Lemminkäinen Joutsen. Lemminkäinen is the breeder, the children maker, and Joutsen is the mother who gets the children. In the next generation, when Lemminkäinen has his son who is 27, and he come a new Lemminkäinen, the old Lemminkäinen become Ukko, and the old Svan become Akka. So we have Ukko, Akka, Lemminkäinen, Joutsen, Seppo, Maija, Sampo, Aino. Sampo, Aino are the first people on the planet. Sampo is also every man is one Sampo, and every woman is one Aino. Seppo, Maija are representing moon, Sepu and Maia. And they are sister and brother, and they have no children. So the first daughter, she become Maija, she representing moon, and the first son become Seppo and representing moon. The 12th son, he become the new Lemminkäinen, who get the most healthy and beauty, and from her children come the Pirouette family. So all the members who are born from one Svan, one Joutsen, are members of the Pirouette family. Now they created one stam mother more called Disa. D is D and Sa is Sa. One Disa. Disa was also made pregnant by Lemminkäinen. And the children of Disa, if the man who born one man, one son, if he was coming one breeder in the future, he called Ra, B. If he didn't have right to make children, he become one nar. The women who born from one Disa, or the girls, if they become healthy and beautiful, they become one new Disa. But if not, they become one Sienare, what means uniting the sea, and get their ringland. Now, all this story of hell is in the top of the planet before ice time, where the middle point is called Valhalla. Around Valhalla is one ring land called Odenmaa, and we have East Odenmaa, we have West Odenmaa, and we have Middle Odenmaa. Outside of Odenmaa is 6 rings. And out of these 6 rings are rings who covered the whole ball in one mathematical system, who had one hexagram, like one football, that you can put in all these rings to be rings covering the whole ball. Now every ringland get one Rabi, and every Rabi come from one Rose et, the rose et. So the children who are born from one Joutsen, one Svan, become Pirouette, and the children who are born from one Disa come Rose et. Now from Roset go out the Rabi to the ringlands, and in every ringland is Jarl et, Karl et, Trel et. So there is 3 et of human being. So in the end become Pirouette, Roset, Jarl et, Karl et, Trel et. Now everybody born from sperma, from sperm, from Lemminkäinen's sperm. So now every rabbi could say my father is Lemminkäinen, every jarl could say my father is one rabbi, every car could say my father is one jarl, and every trail could say my father is one car in pirouette, rouge et, jarl et, car et, trail et. In that way we had one allfather in the top, whose sperm we came from the Ukko, because Ukko had been Lemminkäinen before his 12th son became Lemminkäinen. That's the sperm logic, honest and true, in this story. Pirouette, rouge et, jarl et, car et, trail. In that way we are all human beings, and we have a root language who come from the sound. We start with the sound, and from the sound it come one wooden thing that we could form it to word, what we could transfer to each other and understand each other. No animal has anything like we human beings. We can speak with each other, and today I can speak in English to you who are actually in one tropical group. In that way we are all same. In the paradise we was all same. And we must look exactly like we look today. I think we've been having something called huvud, ögonbryn, ögon, öron, näsa, mun, hals, axlar, bröstkorg, barm, bringa, midja, lår, vadar, fot, tå. We must have been having all these same words already these days. Because it's a part of our body, but anyway must be the oldest we could know about ourselves. This breaks this paradise system 50 million, 10,000 and 40 years ago. 50 million, 10,000 and 40 years ago. Next New Year is 1 year more. Don't forget that. Honest, logic and true. Happened that the axle shifted and we get one new North Pole. So hell was not anymore in the top. And in 3 months' time, the top of the planet become from the fukt, the wet, it become covered by ice of kilometer of highness. The Altland is period. In that time we get some wooden thing from Mexico started one stream of hot water who ended in the Gulf of Vinland. The Gulf of Vinland, the Gulf Stream's end point, the Gulf of Finland today. And this water has been making but circulating in the bay for to create the place on the planet who has most island than any other place on the planet. It's this archipelago we have in our country. We can see Philippines has many islands, but they have them not so concentrated and nice for to have one period of outlines. That people could live on islands and surrounded by the view of ice. The Icelandic period was one warm period for us, because the water was warm, even when the ice was around. Now we could not anymore eating the same as in paradise time, so we get 4 new seeds called havre, vete, korn, and råg. What is that in English? Råg in English. Right. This dark brown material they make bread from, like you find in Germany they use it quite much. Right. And the other one is vete. Vete, it's wheat. It's wheat, flour. Now we had the third egg bread. Korn. Korn it's wheat. Later. Later is you make mjöl. Vetemjöl. Flour. It's this white flour you like to bake cakes from. It's a wheat, it's also wheat, but corn is also wheat. Corn. You also make bread from corn. Yes, corn. Yeah. That's the note of this period. And after we get something called vetebröd, kornbröd, rågbröd, 3 different bread and 4 different set. And these we get in the autumn this period. We also get the domestic animal, we get cow, we get pig, and we get chicken. And we get also a new kind of horse and one sheep who had long hair and one new kind of goat who also had long hair. So now we get this kind of arctical animal who can stay in 40-degree cold with no problem, and they have something in them that they can exist there in this cold world without to use the fire. The human being, we need the fire. With this animal we have there in our 4 months of ice every year, they can be there if they have a roof over their head. Something needs construction with them so they don't die from minus 30. Like we people do if we don't have fire. We get bageri, bryggeri, bränneri, and slakteri. We get bageri, where you make the bread. We make bryggeri, where we make the beer. And we get the bränneri, where we get the brännvin. And we have slakteri, where we was actually eating meat. Tropical people was not eating meat at all. So these vegetarian people are really correct that in the beginning we had not any feeling to start to eat dead animal, fried or cooked. But for us it was different. We came into one hole in the ice. So now nature creates something in one new creation who called later on the arctical people with arctical plants, who are different from the tropical people with the tropical plants. So now when this happened, this ukko akka, they stayed inside in the ice, according to our mythology, and outside of this Atlantis Gulf Stream making one hot water in the 10,000s of Ireland where they had warm water and could live with new seed, not anymore living on sperm or salt from the lake, and tea from the thing we get. Tea from the hot water is always made from the fire. So without this fire we could not have this tea. Now the leaf of the tree was already in the paradise time different. We have löv and we have blood. Löv means that it's so thin, so the stroller has gone through. And blood means that it's so thick that the stroller has not gone through. That means palm blood, the palm leaf is called blood, but the oak tree has löv. So already that time we must have been having 2 different kind of leaf who make that we people can us, we can breathe. And when we breathe, we get in our body from outside, so we get sperm in our balls. Tropical time started with 10 tropical races. What we have fragments of still today, if we start with the Peking, the Chinese, so we can see the Chinese become one of the 10 tropical races. The next one we call Narkasul, what we can call Indian people today. Narkasul people is mostly Hindi people, and they also look different than the Chinese human being. When you go more, you can come to the Turkish, what you find one completely different style of form of prickhead than the Chinese. So you have also 10 different prickhead, 10 different helmet on our body. So we have 10 tropical and 3 arctical. And from this tropical, we can see from the Turkish that we can go to the Africa and the Red Indian, Aztec, Inca, Maya. So together we should be 10 tropical races. And these 10 tropical races, we take one example called Narkasul. Narkasul started one king system that he gets one woman, he gets children with. Called, there comes Shiva Parvati as the mythological figures, what we can see, like Lemminkäinen and Joutsen in our mythology. You can see Shiva Parvati as the mother and the father symbol, who must have been created already, Shiva Parvati, 50 million, 10,000 and 14 years ago, who are separate than our Nordic remind mythology from paradise time. We're going through the Outlandies into the day we have today with Arctical people. Narkasul's son are called Ma, Ha, Ra, Di, A. And every Ma, Ha, Ra, Di, A get one ringland. Inside in the ringland we have Jarl, Karl, Trail in the same way, and the Jarl they call Radia, Radia. So the Raja is for us the Jarl and they have Radia. After Raja we have also Kar, like we had the people in Goa where I've been staying, Tamun Kar, Double Kar, Sudan Kar, they are all ended their name even with Kar, so they have been having one caste who was also one breeding caste in India who called Kar. And the lowest is the Gati people, the Trail Gati, what still we remind in India. So we can see that the Gati has in these days been the children of the Kar has been children of the Raja has been children of the Maharaja, and the Maharaja has been a child of Narkasul in Pueskar, in Puskar, in Radiastan. So you see that the same system continued. In example, we have from still, we all know about Maharaja, Raja, Kar and Gati, we who've been in India. So we can see that in their daily language they can tell what is the whole series, and when you put them in the sound system, you can also control